Alright, hello again everyone. This is February 23rd, 2019, and for today's Torah portion, my lesson is titled, I Am a Witness. Definition of witness: a person who sees an event, typically a crime or accident, take place. To be a witness, one must have the witnessing experiences like the people had in the Torah. I'm going to read here from Isaiah 43 verse 10, a powerful verse in its own right, but I think it still falls short. Ye are my witnesses, saith the Lord, and my servant whom I have chosen, that ye may know and believe me, and understand that I am he. Before me there was no God formed, neither shall there be after me. Now, ye are my witnesses, from the Hebrew word ed, it says witness, testimony, evidence of things, or witness of people. You can just start to wonder, how can you today be someone who can be the kind of witness who will give a testimony that shows evidence of this God or of an ancient Hebrew people? See, they'll say, oh, but the scriptures say things like Israel will be without a king for a long time, an image or whatever, something like that it says. But notice that the people in the Bible, in the Torah days, who were being a witness, had things happen before their eyes in their lifetimes, had things happen before their eyes in their lifetimes, so that they could really see something, participate in some move of God, and then you can say that they're a witness, because they were in it, they were doing it, seeing it happen in their lives, and so on. The miracles of God were displayed right before them. But are you a witness today, in 2019, where after the many years of telling us 400 years of captivity is going to happen in 2015, and it became 2016, year 2000, and I think at one point it was year 2000, and that didn't work out well, caused all kinds of problems, so they changed it. And then 2016, that didn't work out well, so they said it's 2017. It didn't work out well, 2018. Then they said, well, it says after that shall I begin to punish them. So it doesn't really say when. So the 400 years up in 2016, which some say is wrong, but we just don't know how long after the 400 years he's going to punish the people that took us into captivity. But at least you know that they keep changing the days. 2016, 2017, now you get this whole 2019. Pretty soon, if it hasn't happened already, you're going to find somebody saying 2020. I think I saw someone saying 2020. And what are they going to do when 2020 is done? If it doesn't happen, they're going to say 2021. Like every year somebody's coming out with another date, just like in some of these other Christian church religions. Some religions have given a number of dates in the past century of Jesus' return, and it didn't happen, and they keep changing it. So Hebrew Israelites have done the same thing as well. Where they have a year for the 400-year return of the Son of the Most High, and it keeps changing. So if you are a witness of Yah, then are you a lying witness? Because Deuteronomy 18, the latter verses, is saying, if the prophet presumes to speak a word, and it doesn't come to pass and so on, that's a lying prophet and he should be put to death. How will we know if the prophet has spoken the word of the Lord? Well, basically you got to sit down and wait to see if it comes to pass. If it doesn't come to pass, so all the Hebrew Israelite teachers who said it was 2015, who said it was year 2000, who said it was 2016 and on, and it didn't happen because obviously we're not in 2016 now. You know, what should happen to them? How much belief are you going to give to them anymore? I will tell you how much. For a lot of you, it will be a whole lot. Because they got the milk that you want to suck on. And you're not going to stop sucking it. Because like a small child will grow and no longer need the breast, and a cub will no longer need the breast, and other animals, kittens, will no longer need the breast. You are an adult, you are human with a fully functioning mind, it seems, but you will not grow up. You keep sucking at their breasts. Why? Because religion tells you you should stay a baby all along. Even though for the New Testament ones, Paul talked about the sincere milk of the word and that you need to grow past that. But you still keep staying, most of you, not everyone, but most of you, sucking from their breasts. And when they realize they've been caught with their doctrines that don't work out well, then they say, well, it will happen in time. Just like Jesus didn't deliver anybody as a Messiah who came and didn't get the job done, but the other Messiahs in the Torah got the job done when they showed up in their lifetime. Got the job done when they showed up in their lifetime. Hebrews say, well, he's coming back in 2,000 years, and now is the time. And the big push for the past couple decades was to let blacks know that they are Hebrew Israelites. Somebody has the power to let Hebrew Israelite teaching start to move like wildfire, where it didn't move like wildfire all the years of Christianity. For the better part of the last 2,000 years, Christianity had a heyday. But poor little black people don't have the power to just let Hebrew Israelite belief just take off like that. The power was injected not by black people, because black people didn't have the power to do that. And you say you are a sincere witness, speaking the word of your God. So to be a witness, one must have the witnessing experiences like they had in the Torah, which is why Jesus had to be pulled off in the New Testament with something that would let the people say, oh, we're a witness. His resurrection, we saw him alive again. We saw him ascend, go up to heaven in a cloud. It's funny that they can say, we're witnesses to the resurrection because we saw him after. But even though they also say that they saw him make appearances in the Old Testament or the Torah, it's funny that after he resurrects, he cannot be seen again. In 2,000 years, he cannot be seen. Because all the miracles of the Bible, with Yahweh and with Jesus, the Hebrew God and Son God, or Son of God, can only be seen in the times of the Bible. But now that we are in quote-unquote modern times, these miracles cannot be seen, and this Son God or Son of God cannot be seen making appearances anymore. God showed up to Abraham, although some say it's Jesus, or some say it's both. He showed up to Daniel, he showed up to, and they change this up. Sometimes they say that one that showed up is God showing up. Sometimes they say it's the Messiah showing up to these people, so they flip both ways. But in any case, the Godhead shows up. He appeared like a burning bush, in a burning bush to Moses when Israelites were in trouble. But when Israelites are in trouble, he doesn't show up Why didn't he show up on the slave ship? Well, that was our punishment. God can show up anytime in the book. When people have questions, they're under duress and so on. God cannot show up since supposedly Jesus or Torah days. So that in modern times, now that the Bible has stopped being written, God cannot make appearances on earth anymore. Not in a burning bush, not in a lion's den, not walking up to you on your porch like he showed up to Abraham and his wife and so on. God cannot show up in any way anymore because scribes are no longer writing the book. But don't be fooled, they edit the book still. Or at least they edit how it should be taught. And because they can't pull off the same kind of convincing anymore, they don't bother to tell you it's a new scroll, they just tell you it's a new edition. And you know all the many editions of the Bible. Because if they try to change up the real scrolls, people will complain. So they just change up the interpretation or translations. But I tell you, if it was 2,000 years ago or however long, they would have changed the source. And forget the editions. They would have changed the scrolls. But they can't pull it off today because too many people are falling away from the Bible more and more. So they can't mess with the so-called original scrolls now. They just got to make new editions. But I tell you, it might not be so far-fetched for you, the witness, to think that you are a witness since you are under so much delusion already from a God who can only make appearances in Torah days when the scribes were active and when Israel was supposedly up and running as a kingdom, but cannot make appearances today in modern times when you got airplanes and jets and trains and so on. He can't make appearances now that things have modernized. And when more people are educated and so on, when more people can read, because not a lot of people, including not a lot of Israelites, could read in those early Torah days. But God gave a book from Sinai for Israelites to follow. Israelites who could not read, so only a drop in a bucket of them could read, and they had to rely on like Moses to tell them what he said and what the book is saying. Put the scroll in the ark so it can be there to be preserved for people who cannot read. I told you a long time ago that as an Israelite, you couldn't just normally just walk up to a priest or a high priest the way you can walk up to your camp leader or your pastor in your Christian church, talking about you just want to talk about the Lord with him and ask questions. It wasn't like that. These were the elites, these high priests. They weren't there to help you just love God more and draw closer to God like that. They were there to do a job. So we've got this romanticized version of what happened in the Bible, like you can just go invite the high priestess to come and have a picnic with you and teach you about the Lord. It wasn't like that. Sometimes a priest was even scarce. Priests weren't going to just sit down and just tell you all kinds of stuff. They had formal roles to play, and it wasn't like you just in the spirit, drunk in the spirit at church, where you can just run up to the pastor after the service and shake his hand and talk about, can you explain to me what verse 3 means? You didn't have access to a high priest like they make you think. These were the elite, and you were the commoner in the land of Israel. Now, if you're a king or a prophet and so on, yeah, you'll have access to any priest. And the priest would have access to any prophet and so on, or scribe. But if you're just a regular thousands or millions of Israelites, no. And you see, that lack of interest of the average millions of Israelites in Torah days, lack of interest of just going to the priest, has always seemed strange to me. People all over the pastor now, sometimes the minister or so as to try to shield the pastor and so on. And Israelites are dealing with prophets who hear directly from God and high priests who are in the inner courts of the temple and so on. And when you come out, you don't want to be around the priest. You just, oh, holy day is gone. The sacrifice accepted. I'm gone home now to go and cook some dumpling. It's like the lack of interest of the regular Israelite. It's just really strange. Yet they're a witness. If I'm a witness of God, God would get little break from me. Only when I need to get up and go to work. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be going to no work because I'll be spending my time convincing him he should get me out of working. See how much I show up to you. I love you so much. If I can't be a priest, if I can't be a prophet, if I'm not going to be a king and all that, then God, I love you so much. Make a position for me in your kingdom where I can spend all my time with you. Why should I settle with learning from the prophet or reading from the scribe when you are my God and I want the source and you're going to tell me I can't have the source? I must learn it from the prophet and read it from the scribe. But the New Testament tries to give you direct access by saying you can get the Holy Spirit on the day of Pentecost to connect you directly to the source, So this Old Testament Torah Israelite is just a problem for me. They express very little interest in knowing their God deeply, but it says they are witnesses and they don't have that intimacy. Sure, they repeat the Shema, but outside of that, look how they live, stealing from each other. What kind of intimacy is that with their God? Look how they live, killing each other sometimes. What kind of intimacy produces that? And they show by that kind of lifestyle with each other, sleeping with their neighbors' wives and so on, that they are witnesses to this God of righteousness. Be sanctified. Look how we do it. And they cross all kinds of lines that nobody should be crossing if they are a witness of God. But sure, you can say that you are a witness if this is all true. Because in 2016, you can say about yourself, I saw Elijah defeat prophets of Baal at Mount Carmel. In 2017, I saw Elisha make an axe head float. In 2018, I witnessed Moses splitting the Red Sea with a secret pronunciation of the name of God which cannot be pronounced. Because I'm a witness, so I can say these things. I witnessed things the same way the Israelites witnessed things in their lifetime to make them witnesses, because they saw something that was done. Let me read it again for you. Definition of witness. To be a witness, one must have witnessing experiences like they had in the Torah, basically, right? So it's rather a person who sees an event, typically a crime or accident, take place. So if this is all true, yeah, you can go on and say you saw the miraculous move of God demonstrated in your life. To be a witness that is an Israelite, you cannot say, I heard the word from that brother or sister as they told me the truth that I'm an Israelite. You saw a teacher in action teaching you online or wherever, and you believe you're an Israelite. But what you saw and heard was that of a teacher in action. But have you seen your God in action? You can be a witness of what that teacher did. They taught for 5 years on my blog or online at this website. But have you seen God in action to be a witness of God like you are a witness of what the teacher did? In 2019, I saw a burning bush with my own eyes. So as Moses was a witness upon the mountain, I also am a witness. I saw that myself. I am a witness. I am a witness as an Israelite because I am delivered from the so-called modern Egypt of 400 years captivity, and I am feasting on the large grapes from Canaan, having been delivered from this modern day post-slave ship slavery, and all my other Israelites are free. Because God delivered me, I am a witness. I experienced his deliverance. I am a witness. Because I saw God use Elisha to smite an entire army with blindness. This happened in my time. I am a witness. Like they were witnesses when things happened in the Torah days. I am also a part of the Israelites who today in 2019 have had experiences with this God, so I can say I am a witness. And people were also a part of this witnessing experience, so we know each other that we are witnesses. I've seen all kinds of manifestations of the miraculous power and presence of God, because I am the nation of Israel whom God has chosen, and I have seen his might, his power displayed in the earth in modern times. I know God is real because I am a witness of divine manifestations of deliverance. I am a witness. Because just as God did things in the Torah days to make his children of Israel see and participate in the miracles and the blessings that those miracles brought, and the deliverances that those miracles brought, and the peace that they had after those miracles, they felt all these things, experienced all those things in their lives, so they could say, I am a witness. Can you say that today? I am a witness. Even people from a neighboring nation would have known that this Israel was a witness of the God of heaven. Even the king would know. Because the king who was defeated by Israel and the people can say their God is truly real. Because we fought them and we lost by some strange, miraculous power from their God. We know this is the children of Israel. This is the chosen people. We have experienced the damning power of their God in battle, as they were able to defeat us in strange ways with little effort. Stuff come out of heaven like sulfur raining down on us, fire raining down on us. We were destroyed without hands when this army came at us. These are the children of Israel. So even an enemy nation could speak and say these people are different. Who today speaks of the black Hebrew Israelite and says of them, we took them into slavery and now we are destroyed or whatever? We are witnesses that these people have a God that works for them. We have seen it with our own eyes. We have felt it in our own bodies as we were crushed by their God on behalf of this people. So that even the heathen can become a witness of what God has done, not just the Israelite. Who can say that of you? Yet we find that instead of that, you are destroyed, you're broken down, you're at the bottom of the pile, and so on. Can you say today that you are a witness? But at least the verse sounds nice and powerful, though, when you're just reading it in your daily devotions, right? Isaiah 43 verse 10, ye are my witnesses. It sounds really nice, and that's all it does, is sound really nice.